So the crypto markets are dumping right now. We were anticipating volatility. In yesterday's video, I broke down exactly why we were expecting that, mainly due to the key news events that were happening this week around the labor market. And right now, there's a lot of different perspectives from crypto analysts and traders that are super bearish. Yesterday's video, I talked about how more than likely, if we saw a few specific zones be broken, we were going to be seeing deviations. And that is currently what is taking place right now. And moving into the end of the week on Friday, tomorrow, more than likely by the time you're watching this video, we're going to be seeing how the markets are going to be closing out, but everyone is expecting even more deviations, a crazy crash. And if that comes into fruition, altcoins are going to be feeling the pain. So in today's video, I want to walk you through the price action around Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, the key news events that have been having an effect on the markets, and exactly the crypto perspectives from analysts and traders based off of deviations that could be taking place. But if you're new to my channel, check out the rest of my content, guys. I keep you updated on the day-to-day information, price action around Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, how liquidity is shifting, and everything you need to be aware of. At the beginning of the week, I let you guys know about the key news events that were happening. I do it every single week, and it was mainly revolved around the labor market. A lot of the things that we've been seeing around the Fed has been around inflation, which is why if we start to see a weak labor market, we start to see deviations, guys. Even though the U.S. markets have seen a new all-time high, everyone is talking about how we're more likely going to be seeing a shift for assets moving out of stocks into crypto. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump straight into the price action, the news events, and what you need to be aware of. So guys, we have been seeing deviations in the last 24 hours for Bitcoin, for Ethereum, for the altcoin markets, and Bitcoin dominance has been rallying quite significantly. We've been keeping up with the news events around the labor market and how that was going to be happening pretty much throughout this whole week, and also talks about rate cuts and exactly what's anticipated. A lot of different perspectives around this, guys. KillXBT and a few other crypto analysts and traders like Dr. Profit have been expecting these deviations, talking about specific zones. Yesterday, we literally talked about the 113,000 region zone and how if we didn't break it, we were going to be seeing more liquidations. And that is currently what took place today. Bitcoin sitting at around 110,000, but more than likely, we're going to be falling to that 106,000 region. Dr. Profit has been talking about the insiders, how we have been seeing a massive amount of insiders sell off like crazy. And this is pretty much showing what's going to be happening in the next week or so for Bitcoin and the crypto markets in general, which is why he has been short like crazy. And today he even said he's more aggressive based off of specific variables that we're seeing around Bitcoin and the crypto markets in general. Crypto Mitch now has given his perspective on Bitcoin and how he thinks that we could be seeing a fall to that 102, 104,000 region if we don't see strength, and this would be a massive long opportunity. But he goes on to say that just whenever we see deviations and corrections in the market like what we're currently seeing right now, it's pretty much one of the best times to be allocating to altcoins, which is what we do on this channel. Benjamin Cohen has been talking about Bitcoin dominance rallying super hard, moving into he says rallying until early November, and this is where we have been keeping up with Dr. Profit's perspective on how we're going to be seeing that massive correction for Bitcoin, and then from there it's going to rally super hard, squeezing out a ton of the liquidity from the market. And this is where we're going to see Bitcoin dominance rally like crazy, and we're already starting to see the effects of it. So right now, guys, price action around Bitcoin currently sitting at around 110,795. More than likely, though, we're going to be seeing more deviations, guys, based off of specific liquidity zones. We were seeing around that 112, between 114,000 region, and exactly the weakness that we're seeing. The correction has been anticipated in the last few weeks, guys, so this isn't new news. If you're new to the channel, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Now, Ethereum is also showing massive weakness right now. This is why a lot of people were anticipating that after seeing the new all-time high, this is something Benjamin Cohen had discussed, we are going to be seeing Ethereum returning back to its 21-week moving average. And that is currently what is also taking place in the market. Is it going to continue? We will be seeing as the week progresses, moving into Friday, tomorrow, whenever the markets are going to be closing up. The total 3E chart, guys, reflecting that altcoins are just getting squeezed right now. They are waiting for Ethereum to see, a correction, a rally up, but we are currently not seeing that. And if we see Ethereum continue to drop down, we're going to see altcoins fall down as well. And with Bitcoin dominance rallying super hard, if we start to see this chart explode back upwards, we could see a squeeze, guys, out of altcoins. potentially out of Ethereum as well. So this is super important to be keeping up with. And on the day-to-day, I break down the price action around Ethereum, Bitcoin, and altcoins and all that good stuff. But the main thing, guys, is what's fueling all the markets, everything that's currently going on within all of, the price action that's taking place. And most of it, guys, is around the labor market that's been happening this week. I drop updates on Sunday afternoon, guys, letting you know what to anticipate during the week. And all the stuff around the labor data was going to be super important in the labor markets. We saw manufacturing PMI data come out and a few other different things come out today on Thursday. Kobayashi letter has been covering exactly specific sectors around the labor market and how it's looking quite weak, and potentially in 13 days the Fed will cut interest rates and they'll blame a weaker labor market, and we're looking at core CPI inflation data, guys, on top of not only the labor market that has been coming out. So this is super important to anticipate what's going to be happening, but a lot of people have been saying that honestly, even with the rate cut, it's not really going to do much, and it's going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of event, and that just correlates to more deviations in the market. Now, the stock market has reached a new record high, and this kind of correlates with the fact that we're about to see liquidity shift back into Bitcoin and a lot of other assets. Because whenever we start to see stocks peak out, guys, people get bored, they take their profits, and they move it into the next asset, and that's going to be Bitcoin. Now, we are seeing specific deviations with Bitcoin. We have been seeing it for the past few days, which, like how I said, in my latest video, I pretty much talked about exactly what to expect if we saw a little bit of liquidations. But currently right now, we need to hold where we currently are. Otherwise, we sink to 106K. And honestly, guys, I don't think we are. I think we are gonna. I think it's just a matter of time. Dr. Profit has been giving his bearish standpoint on the markets, and he says how more than 400 insider trades in 2 weeks, and only 2 of them are buy, all others are sell. And we're not talking, guys, about retail investors like you and like me with $1,000 investments. We're talking about well investors. We're talking about the big boys. We're talking about everyone that has huge allocations to the market. And when we see their money move around, guys, expect crazy volatility in the market. This is why Dr. Profit says that his bearish stance just became more aggressive. He says after hitting 90 to 95K, we could see a new all-time high for Bitcoin, but he says this is now invalid. I consider lower as possible. In other words, there is nothing to be bullish about. And right now, I think it's really crazy because more than likely, we're going to be seeing deviations for Bitcoin, and then from there, we're going to be seeing a crazy run up after we start to see, the correction take place. This is super important to understand. Like I said, Crypto Mishnell gave his perspective around, Bitcoin potentially, seeing deviations falling to that 102, 104K region, but he thinks that it's going to be a long opportunity, a position for yourself to get into the market so that you can start riding the wave back up. But, people like Dr. Profit are expecting more deviations, and honestly, people like Dr. Profit have been much more accurate. So I'm honestly leaning towards the fact that we're going to be seeing more deviations. Are we going to be falling below 90 to 95K? I have no idea. We have to see once the deviations take place. But right now, I'm leaning more towards deviations as opposed to actual run-ups. Now, Benjamin Cohen, like how I said, is talking about how Bitcoin dominance more than likely is going to see a rally until early November. This correlates with Dr. Profit's perspective on the fact that he really believes that we're going to be seeing a massive correction for Bitcoin, and then a new all-time high will present itself. When that takes place, guys, you best believe that Bitcoin dominance is going to rally, and it's going to squeeze out most of the liquidity in the market. And when that takes place, expect deviations, expect sideways price action for Ethereum and for altcoins as well, guys. Now, the crypto markets are pretty much ranging, trading sideways, waiting to see exactly if we're going to be seeing more deviations or a pump up and a correction. I'm leaning more towards deviations as opposed to corrections based off of all the data and everything that's been coming out, not only around the global economy with the global economy, global economic events, U.S. events, the Fed around the U.S., and then also all the deviations that have been taking place. Multiple different variables, guys, not just one thing. And that's where you can start to really understand what's happening when you don't just listen to one source of information. You correlate multiple sources of information and then pretty much fact check, do a screening process, and determine what actually matters. Now, my crypto portfolio has been seeing massive deviations, which I'm sure your crypto portfolio has been and seeing massive deviations as well. Look at that context chart. That is just crazy. But overall, guys, right now, the best thing you can do is dollar cost average into your positions. Am I buying altcoins right now? No, I am not buying altcoins right now. Why? Because I honestly think moving into the end of the week and honestly into the next few weeks, whenever rate cuts start to happen, I think it's going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news event. We're going to see pump ups in the market. And then we're going to see massive deviations again. So I'm honestly waiting until I see Bitcoin reach those crazy deviations when Ethereum starts to follow. And then from there, I'm going to be making crazy allocations. And I'm honestly just going to drop a YouTube video saying, buy crypto right now. I am buying crypto right now, which I have not dropped a video like that in a decent time. But overall, that is currently what is taking place, guys. We have some key news events that were happening this week around the labor market. It correlated with inflation data that we've been keeping up with, which was super important. And on top of that, we have been keeping up with the price action around Bitcoin and how deviations were anticipated. Yesterday, I dropped a video talking about how a specific things happen to expect a crash in the markets, and that is currently what is taking place right now. It is super important to keep up with all of these news events, the price action, and the sentiment from crypto analysts and traders so that you can correlate what is actually happening and what is not. But if you just listen to what every influencer and coal is shilling to you and you're buying every altcoin at every single point, you're going to get wrecked more than you're going to benefit, guys. And this is why on my channel, I try to make videos anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, giving you exactly what you need to do. Can I make the video 20 to 30 minutes long? Yes, I can. There is so many different things to talk about in the crypto markets, but it doesn't offer you any value. The best thing you can do is focus on the key news events that are affecting liquidity, understand how liquidity is shifting from Bitcoin, Ethereum, and altcoins, Bitcoin dominance as well, and then also determine exactly what is going to be happening in the next few weeks and months based off of Fed cuts into money supply. Multiple different correlations, guys. On this channel, that is what we do. So make sure you guys check out the rest of my content. Make sure you guys stay tuned for more videos like this where I pretty much keep you updated on everything you need to be aware of. If you guys have any questions or suggestions on content, drop it down below. I'd love to hear everyone's perspective on the markets and everything that is going on. But expect volatility, expect deviations. Moving into Friday, guys, I am honestly going to be more than likely shorting the market, longing at specific times, but shorting the market. So just expect all that. But I'm going to be dropping more videos tomorrow and on the weekends to keep you updated with everything that's going on. So make sure you guys stay tuned, and hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. Peace.